Welcome back to Agent Confidential, Jimmy's Whiners and Losers, the only show where the paperwork's thicker than the portal and somebody's always calling their agent. I'm your host, Faux Jimmy Sexton. Let's grade some hires. Let's start in Baton Rouge. LSU gets an incomplete, not because Lane Kiffin isn't a big swing, but because we haven't seen all of the fallout yet. Yes, there were a couple of jets. Yes, there were trophies in the hallway. And yes, he walked into a room full of goals and expectations. But we don't grade potential in this business. We grade results. Lane doesn't get a letter. He gets a stopwatch. We'll see how fast it starts ticking. Auburn, A-. Auburn quietly made one of the cleanest moves of the cycle. No theatrics, no tarmac sprints, no rogue boosters with private jets idling on a runway in Louisville. They locked in a coach who fits the culture, will stabilize recruiting, and didn't embarrass anybody in the process. That alone gets you to a B+. The upside bumps it to an A-. Florida gets a solid B. They didn't panic, didn't overpay, and didn't chase smoke just to make a headline. But let's be honest, there's still renovation work ahead in Gainesville. It's a steady hire. Not a home run, but not a strikeout. Just a clean double into the gap. Arkansas gets a C, and that's with me being generous because it's the 1st of December. It wasn't chaotic, but it wasn't inspiring either. The Hogs needed juice. They ended up with continuity. Sometimes that works. Sometimes it's just rearranging the furniture on the deck of the Titanic. And then there's Oxford. Ole Miss gets a D, and that's only because I'm not legally allowed to hand out an F before December 15th. This wasn't a search. This was a fire drill. Lane leaves, people start yelling in the hallways, and somehow Pete Golding is the last man standing. Will it work? Maybe. Was it clean? Absolutely not. D is for do-over. Kentucky. TBD. Kentucky just walked into their final exam $37 million lighter. The effort will be there. The execution, we'll grade it when the dust settles. And that's this week's hiring grades. In this business, nobody stays on top for long, except the guy negotiating the buyouts. I'm Faux Jimmy Sexton. Rate the podcast, share the podcast, and don't call me unless it's about guaranteed money.